Hi Greedy 3Ds. One of the questions I get asked frequently when it comes to HeyGears 3D printers is about the release film, and the question is always the same. Can you use cheap off-the-shelf release film instead of having to pay the extortionate prices that HeyGears ask for their release films? Well, today we're going to test if I can use a really cheap release film and still get excellent HeyGears 3D print results. So if you're interested, stay tuned. So now is as good a time as any to buy a HeyGears 3D printer for a number of reasons. They've always been excellent 3D printers, but now, especially in their sale, they've reduced the price of their RS and their RS Turbo to the lowest prices that they've ever been. Add to that, come April this year, 2026, they're going to be opening up their slicer so you can use third-party resins in that slicer too. The only other thing that's really expensive with HeyGears is the consumables, and one of those being the release film. HeyGears' very own release films, which they encourage you to use, are really expensive. But the question today is, can we get away with using some just cheap Seriatech release film in our RS Turbo, and can we just pop it in there, and what happens? Do we get decent prints? Do we get bad prints? Well, let's have a look. So first stage of the process, of course, is cleaning your vat, trying to get as much resin off as you can. Make sure you wear some gloves for this stage and clean that vat up as much as you can, because you're going to be playing with it and undoing screws and nuts and bolts and everything on it. And look at the state of that release film. It pretty much has had it. It was still printing really well, but it's time to change. Now you've got two options. You can use the HeyGears' very own options, and we saw that, didn't we? That was about just under £100 for two of their vats, and they come complete with the metal frame around them, so you don't have to do any worrying about putting the FEP in itself. They come complete, and you literally just pop them in after you've taken the dirty, broken, knackedy one out. It's a quick swap. It's 12 screws and it's a swap and you're done. That's option one. That's going to cost you £100 for two, so £50 or each, I should say £50 each. Or you can use the NFEP film, which is about $16.99 for two. This is an A4 size. It's just a Seriatech one I'd got knocking around. I didn't pick this one for any reason other than I'd already got it. Now what you need to do at this stage is take out the 12 Allen key bolts that hold the metal frame in. I'm using a little tool to make it easier. My advice here is use a decent Allen key. Make sure you don't cross thread those little bolts, because if you do, they're a nightmare to get out. So make sure your Allen key is a good quality one. The ones you get with a printer tend not to be that good, so you might need to invest in one. Make sure it's nice and square. Take them all out. There's always one that was a bugger to get out, and it was that one. But once it's done, that metal frame just literally pops out. Now if you were using the option from HeyGears, as you can see, you just pop the new one in, do up the 12 screws, and you're done. But in this instance, of course, we're not going to do that. We're going to be using that Seriatech cheaper NFEP. So what we need to do is just flip it over so you can get at the numerous little screws that hold the two pieces of the metal plate together. Again, make sure you've got something that fits the little screws. They're not Allen keys, these are actual little screws themselves. So make sure you get something that fits them well and take them out. No cross threading. If you get a sticky one, just be careful with it until you've taken them all out. And there's quite a few of them. Get them all out, put them away so you don't lose any. And once you've done that, the two pieces, the two metal pieces of the frame will separate. Just make sure you remember how they go together. And once you've separated them, you can remove the broken, tatty, knackered FEP release film. And here it is. Here is the original one that's given me many of 1,000 hours or 2,000. I can't tell you how many, but lots of hours of printing. Now I'm just going to get the Seriatech one. Literally, as I said, it's not a special one. It's not a one that's I've chosen for any reason other than it was lying around. It's an A4 size. Pop it across the plate. Make sure you put this so that it's all in one place, because what you don't want is one edge to be over the other edge, and you don't want to be getting any gaps on the fronts or the sides. You need to try and make sure it's as central as you can get it, and once you're happy that it's in there, because if obviously it's over to the left, or if it's too high or too low, you're going to get some leaks, so get it in there as best you can. And then I'm just going to take a little Allen key and I'm going to choose one of the corners, and I'm just going to pop a little hole through the FEP, and once I've done that, I'm going to take one of the screws, I'm going to pop it in, and I'm going to tighten that up again. I'm using this little powered screw because I hate changing FEPs, release films. Hate it with a passion. This just makes it a little bit easier. So once you've got one in the corner pretty much done, I'm going to go to the other corner and do exactly the same again. And once you've got a couple in, it lines up all the others by default. So that's the reason I've done that. Popped a little hole through the FEP, put the screw in, tightened it up. Wonderful. Now we've got the process of putting all that myriad of little screws back in. Again, just take your time, make sure you don't cross thread anything, yada yada. Put some music on because this part is tedious. This part, it be boring as old Nick. And once that's done and they're all in there and you've got everything in, just make sure they're all tight. Go around them again and make sure everything is tight. You do not want any leaks through this stuff. If you get leaks, it's going to cause you some sleepless nights with resin on that screen. So make sure everything is tight. Once it's all in and it's done, as you can see, don't worry about all the marks on it. We're going to be cleaning them off later. Now, here I should have cut the edges off. I should have cut the excess off. I didn't. Yes, greedy, I know. I should have cut the excess off. I didn't. It's not really a game changer because you can cut it off afterwards, but it's easier to cut it off at this stage. Now pop your frame in. Remember when you take it apart how it goes in. Remember we turned it over? You're going to turn it over again and pop it in. And then there's those 12 screws to get back in there. Now, I went round these 12 screws, put them all in, then I went round again making sure they were tighter, then I went round again making sure they were tighter. It seemed that every time I went round, I needed to tighten them a little bit more. Make sure you don't cross-thread anything, decent Allen key, etc, etc, till they are all nice and tight, because if they're not tight and that plate lifts up at all at one of the corners, you won't get it back in the vat and it'll screw up your levelling and everything. So once that's all in, yeah, now I'm going to cut those little edges off, which I did off camera. You should have cut them off, or I should have cut them off before you put that in. Lesson learned. I've made the mistake, so you don't have to. Once that is all done, I'm just going to take some IPA and I'm going to give this NFEP a real good clean. Now, the thing with this is, yes, it will work. I've got no doubts that it will work, but you cannot use the pulsing release module with a release film that isn't HeyGears. You can't use the PRM, but the heating function should still work. So yes, you can use the heater if you've got a heater in there, of course, but no, you cannot use the pulsing release technology. So if a PRM is really important to you, you're going to have to buy HeyGears' very own. If not, you can get away with a cheap one. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm just putting some paper down and I'm going to pop some water into the vat and I'm going to leave it for a few minutes. Now, if I've got any leaks in the NFEP or if I haven't tightened something up properly, you're going to see that water, which is a lot more thinner than resin, coming out onto the paper, and I'd rather it leaked at this stage than when it's in my printer printing, getting resin all over my screen. So I've always do this. You can check for any leaks in your FEP by doing it this way as well, and when you're happy that there's no leaks, it's easy to just pour that water out, give it another wipe down with some IPA, and away you go. So that then goes back into the vat, put your resin in, and the real test is whether it will print, whether it will go through the process of setup, or whether it will do a decent job. And I'm going to use a frozen XP test here because I want to see that it can do something properly. I think I'm just using some part per 10 resin. I've popped it in. Now you can see that the heater is still heating the resin. It's gone up from 11 to 12 to 13, so we are still heating the resin. But remember, you can't use the pulse release module if you're using a third party release film. So I popped it in and the printing process started. It was great to know that that worked. The vat went down, it leveled without any problem, it done all its little pre-print tests, and then it started the print. It's a 50-minute print, so I left it, went and had a cup of coffee, came back about 50 minutes later, and just to see if the print had done. And what you can't hear on here is that first layer there is that tearing sound of print coming off FEP, which is always a lovely sound to hear. Let's have a look, see what happened. So here it is. Yes, you didn't see me spill resin all over the bleeding floor. Don't do what I do. I was keen to get it off, so I didn't let it drain properly. Spatula by the medium of off it pops beautifully. I am happy. I am contented at this stage. It has come off well. On the surface it looks okay. There's no marks or blemishes on my build plate. That's nice and clean as well. Into the IPA to give it a swish and a swash to get all that IPA off it. And now let's have a look at it. And well, what can I say? You can see the results that I'm getting there. So the third-party Sorayatec FEP has done a fantastic job. It's beautiful. It is drop dead gorgeous. It's done a wonderful job, as you can see. So the question of whether you can print with a third-party film, that's one of the cheaper options off the internet, is pretty much answered here. You can see the quality of that, and I wanted to show you a test print that will put it through its paces, and you can see that it's done it. So yes, you can do that. You can't use the pulsing release module, as I said. You just can't. It uses some kind of technology that I ain't going to try and get drawn into. You can't use a PRM. You can use the heater, and it does do a wonderful job. I'm not going to do a massive print at this stage, but I did just do something I had lying around, which was this Hulk head file that I used off another printer. I just put it onto this printer, reprinted it off again, and it printed beautifully. No problems at all. I'm happy. I am happy that it is working. Well, there you go. That answers the question. You can put cheap release films in the HeyGears, sort of. It's a bit of a yes and no answer. Yes, you can. And yes, you can use the heated resin vat. But no, you can't if you want to use the pulsing release module. Now, if the PRM is something that is really important to you, then you're going to have to go with HeyGears' own release films. If you're living without the pulsing release module at the moment, and to be honest, it will print absolutely fine without the pulsing release module, then you can get away with using cheaper release films and still get excellent HeyGears results, plus all the autonomy that comes with a HeyGears printer. If you found that useful today, please show that by just hitting the subscribe button and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Have you tried this? How have you got on? Have you hit any problems? Have you hit any snags? Let me know, and other users know how you've got on down below in the comments. There's a Greedy 3D Patreon. You can join that as well. It'd be great to have you on board. I'll put all the details, yeah, you guessed it, down below in the comments. And if there's any other questions you've got on any printer that I've shown you, or especially the HeyGears machines, let me know. Just drop it down in the comments box and I'll see what I can do to answer those queries for you. Please leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like and share it with your nanny or your granddaddy, or share it with anyone actually. I don't want you to share it with. It all helps the algorithm. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found that useful and informative, and I'll see you next time on Greedy 3D.